Yo, what is going on everybody? needforbeans over here. In this video I'll be doing a benchmark for Call of Duty on the 2070 Super and the i9 9900K stock, not overclocked. And I'm also going to be giving you guys the one and only tip you need to know if you want to increase your FPS in Warzone. There's so many videos out there about magic FPS fixes that you can go to some configuration file and change some code and go to your registry and change all these settings, and it's just some garbage. There's a lot of garbage out there, trust me guys. This one, you don't have to go to your registry or change anything weird that's gonna mess up your game and your computer forever. I'm gonna be real with you guys and explain how you can reach your FPS goals with the same hardware you have. So here I am on Warzone. I got 210 frames, right? My goal originally was to hit 185 FPS because I'm running in 185 Hz refresh monitor. So I was messing around with these settings for quite some time, for a while, and I was really frustrated because I couldn't hit my FPS goals. So what I did to get the frame rates that I wanted, which is 185, is mess around with the render resolution. Right? So I set my resolution to 1920 by 1080, but in this setting I actually lowered it to almost the lowest setting. I'm going to go lower. So this is literally the most important setting you want to look at, render resolution, if you're trying to increase raw FPS. Now you can even put all, as you can see here, these are normal, they're not on low, so some of these effects are enabled. So you can mess around with these effects, but they're only going to give you like 10, maybe 15 FPS per sniper, overhead. The real MVP here is the resolution, especially if you're GPU bound. If you're GPU bound means you're using 100% of your GPU.
Gas is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone.
So, easiest way to get more FPS and reduce that workload on GPU is by lowering your resolution. Nobody wants to do that because nobody wants to lower resolution, but that is unfortunately the only way for you guys to
stick together.
Hit those FPS goals. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put this to 100 and put this on the lowest settings. Everything on low. Everything is, let the cache shadows. Everything else we want disabled and on low. Yeah, my settings. I just want to go somewhere. Yes. So we're running about 180.
Alright lads, let's get it done.
Let me go ahead and fire up MSI Afterburner so you guys can see a little more detailed the frames and stuff. So look, running 165 frames, and this is the open world when you're like outside. If you go into a building, you'll have higher frames. But my goal is to have 185 at in the open world. So as you can see here, we're almost there, but not quite. And this is at lowest settings. So as a benchmark, and normal resolution, you're sitting at 1920 x 1080 resolution. Everything on low. Oops, not everything on low. Oops, sorry about that. That's actually kind of important. 180 frames, 170, 100. Not too bad. If you have a 144 Hz monitor, this is a perfect, because you'll be sitting above 144 Hz, 144 frames, which is good. But for me, I have a 185 Hz monitor. It kind of overclocks, so I need that extra push. Now I didn't know what to do at this point. I was like, what else can I do? And that's when the idea came to me. What you have to do is start messing with the resolution. So what you can do is just drop it down to 66. It's gonna be pretty low. Drop it down. You'll see it looks really terrible. But you'll see, look at my frames, 220 frames, right? But obviously I can't play like this. So here's now what you can do. You can, instead of upping the resolution, you can actually look at the texture here and maybe increase your texture resolution. Texture filter normal. So we're looking at these textures because what bothers me is these, you know, these lines and these textures looking bad. So if we up the texture quality but have low resolution, it looks slightly better and the frames are still good. So now we can do this even more. We can actually see if we can enable anti-aliasing. Now this filmic strength, it says if the anti-aliasing is not set to this, or filmic, set filmic strength to 1, SMA T2X or filmic SOA. So we're just gonna do filmic SMAA and filmic strength. So if it's not set to it, 0. So we set it to 0. Motion blur, we don't want it. Film grain, we don't want it. So we apply settings here. And see, now it looks better, but now it almost looks like blur. It's blurry, right? So I think that the blurry has to do with filmic, with the anti-aliasing. So we can kind of mess around with this and see, this still looks blurry. This looks like a good balance for me. The problem is, you see these lines, these like flickers. So I think this is what it means with if the anti-aliasing is not set to T2X, set it to 1. So it's not set to T2X, you want to set it to 1. So now we look at it. Now if you look at it, we're dead. Jesus, I'm literally just trying to test my FPS and look at this. So sad. But you guys get the idea of optimizing this game, how you should be optimizing it, not just lowering all the settings to the lowest possible setting and leaving the resolution at 100%. You want to find that perfect balance between low resolution, high settings. You can up resolution, lower it. So that's what you have to do. It really depends on your hardware. It really depends on your hardware. So I hope you guys, I mean, I don't want to sit here for like 20 minutes fiddling with this, but I just kind of wanted to show you the process of how I benchmark, I guess, or optimize this game. And the last thing I want to show you guys is just my Nvidia settings. So let's go ahead here, Nvidia control panel, and show you guys my Nvidia settings. Sharpening off, occlusion off, anisotropic filtering, application controlled. So I'm gonna go through here. I'm not gonna go over everything. Low latency mode is ultra. If you're CPU bound, try setting it to on, because this kind of stresses out the CPU a little bit. But if you're GPU bound, then don't worry about it. In my case, I'm GPU bound. My CPU can handle it, but my GPU can't. My GPU can't handle it, so that's why lowering the resolution really helps the GPU. Max frame rate disabled, so I'm just gonna show you guys. These are the settings. Now the other last thing you kind of want to do, which will really help you, is go to your program files and go to your BattleNet, or sorry, go to your Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Down here, Modern Warfare, right click, properties, compatibility, disable full screen optimization. This essentially will take away Windows's optimization for full screen applications, which is essentially just VSync. So it essentially disables VSync. So make sure you do that. It will definitely help you with your FPS. Other than that, I don't think there's much else now. There's gonna be a lot of videos out there that's gonna tell you to mess with your registry settings or mess with your configuration files. Don't do that. Don't mess with those files. They always get updated. They just cause a lot of trouble. There's no point in messing with them. Leave that. It's like you can't redesign the game, you know, to work in your favor. The game is designed the way it is, so you got to use the controls that are available in the game to optimize it. So that's why you want to lower the resolution. You can mess around with the display resolution. It really, there's a lot of variations, but if you're not hitting your frames that you want, lower that resolution, up the texture quality. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you guys some insight on, you know, Call of Duty. I'll be doing more benchmarks in the near future. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Need for Beans out. Peace.